Is now a good time to buy a home in San Diego? Let's talk about it.
Most of our buyers right now, we are pushing them to buy now opposed to later for a multitude of reasons. Most important, though, is the fact that we're able to negotiate offers under list price. We're able to be a little bit more advantageous with terms going more towards the buyer. What I mean by that is having a loan contingency in place a little bit longer, having the appraisal contingency, more importantly, the inspection contingency here in Southern California. I know Northern California that can be different, but we're able to more or less make sure that our buyers are very, very well taken care of as far as just getting into the property and timelines for them.
What do you guys see happening when the interest rates head back down in the future?
I think you're going to start to see, just as we just kind of experienced through probably the first part of May, or excuse me, not May, January, there's this kind of talk about interest rates coming down and that there were going to be, several rate cuts, which is not the case as it stands today in March. And so that first month kind of already had people jumping back into the market who were out because the anticipation that rates would come down. I mean, rates did come down into those, mid sixes, low sixes. And so you did start to see the amount of people come back in and starting conversations again and just trying to figure out, hey, what can they afford? I think that the topic of like, should you buy now versus later, it's kind of a hit or miss answer to that question because, unless we have real transparency on when rates would start to come back down, it's a timing issue. Right now, I think that if you can, from what you've said, Jared, where you're getting below market price for these listings on a consistent basis, there's a deal out there to be had, then take advantage of it now because you're not married to the rate, you're married to the house, right? So marrying the house and versus dating the rate is what I'm referring to. And so you'll stay in the house and you won't stay in the interest rate that you end up going with on your first initial purchase right now. So you will date the interest rate in that you just won't keep that interest rate for a long period of time. Also, with the changing or being able to have those rates reduced, this will create a better equity position for you down the road when you do go to refinance. So this will help the interest rate reduce even further because your loan to value will be much better. They announced even today, in fact, that the pricing of homes here in certain areas, again, this is specific to areas. So if you're in Kentucky, this is a different conversation than here in California. The Fed essentially failed. They were hoping the higher interest rates would do for the housing sector of the PCE. So the inflation of housing data, housing sales did not do what it was supposed to do, not even close. So, you're continuing to see those prices kind of hover in the higher end versus having the interest rate affect the price as you would normally see in a what we call a normal market. Reason for bringing that up is that I don't see that housing prices are going to dip like everybody thinks they are or thought they were over the last couple of years. It's just not going to go back down to that. It should be pre-pandemic, and it's not going to go back down into the financial crisis era.
To comment on that, Dan, I agree with you. On my end, one thing that I'm seeing is instead of 7 to 10 offers, I may be going against, let's just say 1 to 3 on a lot of properties. And what I'm finding, and even in our properties that we're selling, is there's a lot of people through the open house. We're having those numbers much greater than we've had in a long time. But what I'm seeing is come Monday, Tuesday, when normally we would review offers, we're again looking at, like I said, about 1 to 5 offers opposed to 10 to 15. And really that bodes well for our buyers, of course, that do have more advantageous terms towards, what it is that they're trying to do. And more importantly, hovering around that listing price, either under or over to really, get what it is that they're after, what they're trying to do. So that is something that, to your point, it is nice, obviously, if you're going to set up, definitely set up for the lower purchase price, therefore gutting it out, if you will, for say 6 months, year to even 2 years now, to hopefully do that refinance to where you're able to actually drop that rate.
That's why now is a great time to buy in San Diego.
Want to learn more? Call, text, or email us, and let's talk about it.